Hello kids! We're already in our English 4, Quarter 1, Weeks 4 to 5, with the title Structure, Purpose, and Language Features of Different Text Types. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to identify the structure, purpose, and language features of different text types. Narrative, information report, procedure, and argument. Read each question carefully and choose the letter of the correct answer. 1. This text type tells the reader how to do or make something through a sequence of steps. They are written in two different forms. A. Procedure text. B. Information text. C. Narrative text. D. Argument text. 2. Which is an example of procedural text? A. Bible. B. Science experiments. C. Dictionary. D. Magazine. 3. What text type persuades the reader to change his/her mind to agree with the writer? A. Narrative text type. B. Procedure text type. C. Information text type. D. Argument text type. 4. What is the purpose of narrative text type? A. To tell stories, entertain, and hold readers' interest. B. To tell the procedure or steps to follow a process. C. To tell information about the topic. D. To change people's point of view. 5. Which is not a source of informational text? A. Fairy tale books. B. Encyclopedia. C. Dictionary. D. Atlas. 4. Identify the text type described in each number. Write the letter of your answer. You may pause this video to answer this exercise. Here are the answers. Do you know what Surabaya is? Listen to me as I read the story. The Legend of Surabaya. A long time ago, there were two animals, Sura and Baya. Sura was a shark and Baya was a crocodile. They lived in the sea. Once Sura and Baya were looking for food, suddenly Baya saw a goat. "Yummy! This is my lunch," said Baya. "No way! This is my lunch. You are greedy," said Sura. Then they fought for the goat. After several hours, they were very tired. Feeling tired of fighting with each other, they decided to live apart. Sura lived in the water and Baya lived on the land. The border was the beach, so they would never fight again. One day, Sura went to the land and looked for some food in the river. He was very hungry and there was not much food in the sea. Baya was very furious when he knew that Sura broke the agreement. They fought again. They hit each other. Sura bit Baya's tail. Baya did the same thing to Sura. He munched him very hard until Sura finally gave up and went back to the sea. Baya was so happy. Did you like this story? Now let us answer the comprehension checkup. What did Sura feel after Baya claimed that it was his goat? After Baya claimed that it was his goat, Sura felt angry. When and where did the story happen? The story happened a long time ago in the sea. What happened at the beginning, in the middle, and the ending of the legend? What was the conflict problem in the story? The conflict problem in the story was when Sura broke their agreement and looked for some food in the river because he was hungry. Baya got very furious and they fought again. How did the story end? They fought once again. Sura finally gave up and went back to the sea. Baya was so happy. The story that I read earlier is a kind of text. Texts are written for a variety of purposes using different forms and standards of composition. These forms of writing are known as text types. There are two main text types, the factual and the literary. A factual text type is to inform, to instruct, or persuade. Examples of factual text types are informational, procedural, and explanatory, while the literary text type is to entertain and to elicit an emotional response. Example of a literary text type is a narrative text type. The first text type that we're going to discuss is the narrative text. Narrative text type is a fiction or made-up story. The purpose of narrative text type is to entertain or to tell a story. The text structures of the narrative text types are: there are characters, who are the persons, animals, or things in a story. Setting, which tells us when and where the story happened. The plot describes the events and their significance. The conflict is the main problem in the story, and the resolution is the conclusion or the end of the story. The language features of the narrative text types are verbs like run, walk, eat. It has time connectives like first, next, then. It has descriptive languages or adjectives like nice, good. And it has proper nouns like Mr. Lim, Anna, Spot. The examples of narrative text types are fables, stories, legends, novels, myths, and fairy tales. The legend of Surabaya is an example of a narrative text. The second text type that we're going to discuss is about informative text. Its purpose is to present facts about a person, an animal, an object, or a place. The text structures of an informative text are beginning, what is the information about, middle, the topic sentence to organize different bundle of information, and ending, the statement or conclusion. The language features of an informative text are specific nouns related to topic like mammals, heroes, action words or verbs like hop, fly, write. It is written in present tense like go, goes, eat, eats. And it's free from personal opinion, and they all came from facts. Examples of an informative text types are non-fiction books and articles like dictionaries, encyclopedias, almanacs, biographies, newspapers, magazines, essays, and textbooks. The third text type that we're going to discuss is about procedure text. The purpose of the procedure text are to describe or instruct how something is accomplished through a sequence or steps, and when a set of rules is needed to be understood. The text structures of procedure text types are: it has goal or aim or title. The materials are not required for all procedural text, and the steps or the actions that must be taken. There are two types of procedural text. The first one is the numbered, or the text that shows a list. Here is an example of a numbered procedure text. The second procedure text is the sequenced, or the text that uses time connectives. Here is an example of a procedure sequence text. It uses words like first, then, next, lastly. Here are more examples of procedure text, like recipes, science experiments, manuals, road safety, and rules of games. The fourth text type is the argument text. The purpose of argument text is to present a discussion with the pros, or agree, and cons, or disagree. It is to convince people or change readers' points of view. The text structure of an argument text has parts, which are introduction or beginning, the topic or issue, argument or middle, the paragraphs that give arguments, wherein you're going to agree or disagree with the writer, and the conclusion or ending. It is where we're stating the opinion on the topic. The language features of an argument text are nouns to name ideas, thoughts, or opinion like justice, peace, or health. It is written in present tense like report, continues. The verbs to show what is said and taught like know, imagines. And it uses conjunctions like therefore, so, however, although. The examples of argument text types are opinion pieces or editorial, proving theories, debate speeches, and film or book review. Read and analyze the text. Answer the questions that follow. True friends. Once upon a time, there were two close friends who were walking through the forest together. They knew that anything dangerous can happen anytime in the forest, so they promised each other that they would always be together in any case of danger. Suddenly, they saw a large bear getting closer toward them. One of them climbed a near tree at once, but unfortunately, the other one didn't know how to climb up the tree. So being led by his common sense, he lay down on the ground, breathless, and pretended to be dead man. The bear came near to the one who was lying on the ground. It smelled in his ears and slowly left the place because the bears do not want to touch dead creatures. After that, the friend on the tree came down and asked his friend that was on the ground, "Friend, what did the bear whisper into your ears?" The other friend replied, "Just now the bear advised me not to believe a false friend." Choose the letter of the correct answer. 1. Who are the characters in the story? A. Two friends. B. Two brothers. C. Two sisters. D. Two workers. Two. What is the purpose of the story? A. To give instructions. B. To tell a story. C. To present a discussion. D. To give information. Three. What is the setting of the story? A. One day in the forest. B. One morning in the market. C. One summer in the sea. D. Once upon a time in the forest. Four. What is the conflict of the story? A. A large bear chased them. One of them was able to climb the tree while the other can't because he didn't know how to climb a tree. B. The two friends fought who will kill the bear. C. The bear didn't know who will chase between the two friends. D. The bear was afraid of the two friends. Five. Which is the resolution of the story? A. The other friend helped the other one to climb the tree. B. The other friend realized not to believe a false friend. C. The two friends parted their ways. D. The bear just left them. Read the experiment performed by the grade 4 class. Rocks in soil. Are there rocks in soil? Plants grow on soft soil. If you look closely at the soil, you will see that it has rocks on it. The grade 4 class performed an experiment to find out if there are rocks in the soil. Read what they did to prove that there are rocks in the soil. They got basin and poured water into it. Some of the boys got a handful of soil and placed it in a basin. They let it stand for 5 minutes. After that, they slowly poured out the water, leaving the soil in the basin. They took some soil from the basin. Some portions of the soil hardened into small pieces of rocks. This showed that there are rocks in the soil. Steps done by the grade 4 pupils. Complete the chart by writing the directions step by step. The first one is done for you. Write the topic, first, next, then, after that, and finally. Here are the answers. So what are the 4 different text types? One is the narrative text type. It tells a story in order to entertain the reader. 2 is informative text type. It tells something about an object, person, place, or animal. 3 is the procedure text type. It tells the steps involved in doing something. And 4, the argument text type. It presents pros and cons of an issue. It convinces others' point of view. Read and analyze the text. Answer the questions that follow. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Homework should be banned. Most little kids get far too much homework. Our class believes homework should be banned in primary school. Firstly, it's well known that kids are not as fit as they should be. Sitting around for hours doing homework is dreadfully unhealthy. Secondly, kids work hard at school all day. They need time to relax and refresh their brains. Kids are stressed and parents are frustrated for worrying about homework. Thirdly, homework is hugely difficult to complete for many kids. Therefore, they need help from the teachers. They need lots of resources which they can't get at home. In conclusion, we believe homework, which is really just more schoolwork, should be done in school or banned entirely. 1. The selection you read is an example of A. Narrative, B. Procedure, C. Argument, D. Information. Two. What is the purpose of this text type? A. To convince people or change readers' point of view. B. To describe or instruct how something is accomplished through a sequence or steps. C. To present facts about an object, animal, person, or place. D. To entertain the reader. Three. What is the introduction of the text? A. Most little kids get far too much homework. B. Firstly, it's well known that kids are not as fit as they should be. C. Secondly, kids work hard at school all day. D. Thirdly, homework is hugely difficult to complete for many kids. Four. This text type expressed A. Debate, B. Theory, C. Book review, D. Opinion. Five. What is the conclusion of this text? A. It's well known that kids are not as fit as they should be. B. Kids work hard at school all day. C. Homework is hugely difficult to complete for many kids. D. We believe homework, which is really just more schoolwork, should be done in school or banned entirely. The following instructions on how to make a bookmark were all mixed up. Write them in order using the sequence signals first, next, then, and then, finally at the beginning of each sentence. Reminder, you may pause this video in answering this activity. Are you done? Let us answer. Read the following selection, then identify the text type. Write the letter of the correct answer. 1. Elephants are the largest living land animals on Earth. They are herbivores. They eat only plants like grass, leaves, and roots. 2. There was once a speedy heir who bragged about how fast he could run. Tired of hearing him boast, Slow the tortoise challenged him to a race. All the animals in the forest gathered to watch. Slow won the race. 3. The best animal pet in the world is the dog. It is very loyal to its owner. It will guard your house. It will defend you from bad people when needed. 4. First, cut the 10 pieces of calamansi into half. Next, squeeze them into the tall glass. Then, fill the glass with water. After that, add sugar. Finally, mix them all together and enjoy your calamansi juice. 5. Students should not all be required to join activities in physical education, since some of them are not athletic. Here are the answers. What is your score? Can you please comment down your score in the comment box below? Thanks for watching. This is Teacher Jhean. See you again next week. Goodbye.